It was a pretty good performance from the point of view that we got the 5 points that we were after. It wasn't easy, we had to work hard for that, as you could see, but certainly pleased to have done that. Very pleased to have held them scoreless, so that doesn't happen very often at this level of the game, and pretty pleased with Byron Hayward coming in, that we achieved that, and the boys working very, very hard, even after the 80th minute, and looking to score points. So, it's sort of something that the boys want to do. They want to play a bit more, and I think at times we achieved that, and at times we may have overplayed, so still plenty to work on.
If you were being perfectionist, what would you look to add to that performance?
Look, I think in the first half we were caught out quite a lot in terms of our reaction to ball going out, a couple of quick throw-ins, which meant we had a jagged defensive line and they got too much yardage on us. So just little things like that, making sure that we're awake and we don't expose ourselves like that again. The scrum was probably a bit messy at times, and there were times when I think we had numbers defensively, but we were holding rather than pressing, and so there is plenty to work on, as I say, which is a pleasing thing at this stage of the competition.
What about Josh Adams' hat-trick scoring tries for fun still?
Isn't he? Yeah, I mean, what I liked was his last try. He could have easily just parked up out on his wing, but after more than 80 minutes of play, he's in close to the ruck looking for the ball and, using his strength to get over the try line, so very pleased for him.
Alun, what was it like as a game to play in?
It was the first one of the campaign, isn't it? It's always interesting to see how we go. A lot was said about playing at home in Italy at home, and it was a dream start, and we were fully aware or unaware what Italy were going to bring, a lot of change on their side as well. But ultimately happy with the result. I think I said yesterday, when did the team and press conference that we wanted the performance. I think we had that in parts. I think the way we came out potentially defensively in the second half, we were a little bit cold in those first 10 minutes, but the vein we finished the game was probably the biggest positive for myself.
Wayne, can you just talk about Nick Tompkins? He had 2 goes at it. Very impressive. What did you think?
Yeah, well, firstly, I was disappointed for Johnny Mack having to go off. I was hoping that he'd come back into the game, being his first cap, and he did, so I was pleased for him. But Nick Tompkins showed at the time that he was on there that he's got a lot of talent, he's got a lot of ability, and that's why we were happy to sub him into the game when we did in the second half. And I think a lot of people now know who Nick Tompkins is.
Well, you mentioned Byron there. He's obviously following a legend. So how pleasing was it? What do you think he's doing with this game?
He's working very, very hard, like all the coaches are, working with the boys individually as well as collectively as a group, and making sure they all understand their roles. And we're doing a lot of work on decision making, so that the boys are making good decisions. We'll review that game, and I'm sure there were times there where we didn't make the best of decisions. So, as I said, plenty to work on. But I'm very pleased for Byron because he's a guy that's just working away in the background at his craft and doing a pretty good job.
Josh, obviously his try scoring record is extraordinary considering on from the World Cup. Where do you rate him in terms of wingers in the World Game, and how much do you think he can get better under your stewardship?
Well, I think on the world stage, the biggest stage, he was a top try scorer, so he's got to be right up there. So I think that speaks for itself, really. Look, with Stephen there running our attack, the way we want to play the game, I think our wingers get more opportunities potentially. So I don't think he's going to be too phased by the way we want to play the game. I think he'll enjoy it.
Wayne, you've known as somebody who enjoys creative rugby. That pass from Dan Bigger for the second try was something that you must have enjoyed.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows the confidence in the player, isn't it? Dan's a very confident guy. He knew exactly where his winger was and the situation, and he had the skill to execute it beautifully. So very pleased that Dan all round had a very good game. I think he was one of the guys leading our line speed throughout, and I thought he had a pretty good all round game.
Wayne, I know obviously the players had the Barbars camp just before Christmas in the game, but this is the first competitive game of your stewardship. How do you think they responded to your way of doing things so far?
Oh, from where I sit, Alun Wyn's a good one to answer that one, but from where I sit, the boys are applying themselves. They're doing everything asked of them, and working very hard at their skills, and working hard at the way we want to play the game, the patterns that we're using. So, it's very early days. It's going to take a long time before everyone becomes very, very comfortable and becomes second nature. But Alun Wyn's probably got a view on it.
Yeah, it's been good. I think in the launch, the Six Nations, we said about the Barbers Week was probably invaluable in the fact of a lot of the classroom stuff has been done, a lot of the paperwork's out of the way, and we've been able to do for the last 2 weeks, week and a half, and it's the end of the start for us. There's a lot of new faces, a lot of new stuff to get out there, and I think, again, I know Byron's had a few plaudits and just put some pressure on for the next one, but I think he's probably got the hardest shoes to fill, and we've got to keep doing that. But ultimately, it's the end of the start, and it's been a positive one.
Ireland and Dublin going to be a different proposition?
Massively so, yes, definitely. So we'll obviously look at them, review our performance, and look at the areas that we need to concentrate on over the coming week. But we certainly know it's going to be a very tough task, and one that we're looking forward to.
Who might you have fit and back in the mix for next week from those who've missed this game?
Yeah, I think probably Elliot D and Owen Watkin should be right. Liam will be touch and go. Make a decision on him obviously next week. But yeah, probably those two coming in. I think out of today's game, we came through quite well in terms of injury.
Is it going to be difficult potentially to change a winning side though, or is it something that you will consider?
Well, we're working towards the big goal of the Rugby World Cup in 2023, and this campaign, obviously, we're trying to win it. So to do that, we're going to have to put out the side that we think can get the job done each week. There may be change, there may not. We'll just have to see how we go in the early part of the week once we've reviewed this performance.
Wayne, what about Italy? They've now lost 23 in a row in this tournament. How do you think they went today?
I love their endeavour. I thought obviously there's change there. They're looking to change the way they play the game, and it takes time. So just the way their shape and the way they were attacking, they cause us problems at times. So I'm sure that they're just going to get better as the competition goes on.
The more they lose, the more people are going to say that they don't deserve to be in this competition. What do you think about that?
Our focus really as a new coach coming in here is our performances with Wales, and that other people will determine those sorts of things, but certainly I'll be watching with interest over the remainder of the competition.
Wayne, what did you make of George North in the centre today?
Yeah, I thought George went well. It's been a while since he's played in a test match or started at centre, and I thought he took up the challenge well. He was looking forward to it, and I think you saw he got a lot more touches on the ball, and I think he'll only improve from that performance.
Well done, thank you.